Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Soviet Tier 9 Tech Tree Tank Destroyer, the Object 704. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Object 704. It is the Tier 9 in the Tech Tree for the 268 line. And what's it like as a tank destroyer? Well, it's got a big slapping gun, which is basically the same as the whole Tech Tree line that goes up to the 268. In that it's got this troll cannon. It's got the troll cannon, which is the BL-10, which is the gun that used to be on the ISU-152 before it. It's the same gun that's on the ISU-152K, the premium, which means that it's got that 286 penetration on the AP with 329 pen on the APCR. It's honestly beautiful. If it hits, because it's one of those guns, troll cannon, it's got the name troll cannon for a reason. Sometimes it likes missing. And it likes doing it a lot. But other times, you hit the most stupidly ridiculous shots. That's troll cannon for you. The penetration is wonderful. It's got 880 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP, with 1,100 meters a second on that premium APCR, which means the APCR velocity is pretty good. It's pretty derpy at times, but it's got 0.31 accuracy with the build that I run, which isn't too bad. 0.61 accuracy during rotation is actually not too bad either, with 2.16 accuracy during movement, which could be way worse, but it's still not that good. Which means the gun aim circle does bloom out a fair bit when you've been on the move, and you've got 2.67 second aim time, which means it takes a bit to aim it in, but you don't feel it all that horrifically. But you do have that 750 alpha, which is honestly delicious. When you start slapping these rounds out, oh yeah, it's really, really nice, honestly. You got 3.5k DPM with a 13.05 second reload, which means your reload is quite slow, but you are slapping for quite a lot. You've got a 37 km/h top speed with a 13 km/h reverse speed. Oh, HE. Oh, yes! 972! Whew! That's what we roll for. That's what we like the HE for. 90mm of penetration on that HE means that penning light tanks like that is beautiful. But I digress. 13 km/h top speed in reverse is iffy. It's very, very slow to reverse. Its top speed in general is also pretty slow at 37 km/h. And as you're seeing, a big problem is also the track traverse, which is 23.98 degrees a second with the build that I run, which is, yeah, slow. Can we get the HE? Oh, 799! We didn't roll high enough to kill the Gorilla. We've got 950 alpha. That's super unlucky not to kill that guy with that shot. But okay, 3 filthy HE rounds starting this game, my lord. But yeah, this tank, as you've just seen, is horrifically slow to traverse its tracks, which is why you'd really need to help it if you can. You've got 461 meters of view range, which means you're fairly blind, which is not uncommon for tank destroyers, especially Soviet ones. 233 meters of still concealment, though, by the way. Oh yeah, it's pure filth. It's very, very stealthy, this tank, which is nice. 288 meters of on-the-move concealment, though, means the moment I'm on the move like this, it's not going to help. We're going to get spotted, although we did get proxy spotted there, realistically. But yeah, the tank, realistically, wants to be playing that more stealthy tank destroyer role. It wants to be playing slightly further back, using good bush locations to stay unspotted and then slap out big, dirty 750 alpha rounds from this gun, which can be super, super juicy when the gun gets flown. When 3.5k DPM for this kind of alpha at Tier 9 is quite nice. Even though obviously got a slower reload, that gun does slap. It just occasionally, like I say, the gun does decide, yeah, I'm just going to miss. I'm just going to miss. For no reason at all. Because it goes, oh, yeah, I fancy it, you know, I fancy missing, which just can be pretty frustrating at times for the vehicle. But yeah, I do enjoy the 704, but it's just one of those tanks that can be very, very awkward at times. You do have 6 degrees of gun depression and you're pretty low to the ground, which means using that 6 degrees of gun depression at times can be a bit awkward. 18 degrees of elevation, though, is absolutely fantastic. You also have a gun traverse of 11 degrees to the left and 11 degrees to the right, so you do traverse a little bit to the left and right, so you just got to be careful of that when you're trying to keep leading your targets. Be aware that obviously you are going to run out of gun traverse and you're going to have to end up swiveling at some point. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment on the old Object 704? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Track Mechanics, Steady Aim, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Clutch Braking, the Advanced Loader, the Camouflage Net, and the Optics. Optics, you're able to get the 461 meters of view range because you are absolutely blind if you do not help it with Optics and Situational Awareness. Camouflage Net to get that fantastic 233 meters of still concealment with the Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot. Muffled Shot is to obviously help the gun while firing so it doesn't damage your camo rating as much while firing, and it helps you keep that fantastic camo that you've got at 233. Then you've got the Steady Aim to make it 10% more accurate, because like I say, this gun can be troll, can be very, very troll, and if you don't help it, it'll be really frustrating for you, which you just have to help it, because you can see when you're having that sort of bloom on the gun, you're having to wait for the aim time with that 2.67 second aim time, it can be a bit frustrating. You've also got the Advanced Loader to make the DPM as good as humanly possible as well. And Clutch Braking, because like I say, the track traverse is dreadful, so you really need to help the track traverse. So as you saw with that first game, we finished with the victory. The 2 kills, 3.9k damage, 1493 base XP with 1015 assistance. The first class with that base XP in a tier 10 lobby, which is a pretty nice game there for the Object 704. And oh yeah, we used those HE rounds right at the start of the game to filthy, filthy things. Those rolls, man. We hit the Griller with HE, we hit the Ramatel Panzerwagen with HE, 970 plus on the Panzerwagen. Oh, I think we hit him for about 900 odd again with the Griller, and then we got pretty unlucky that the second round it rolled for 800 odd. I think it was like low 800, right? We've got 950 alpha on that HE round with that 90 penetration, meaning that if you do hit people with the HE that are lightly armoured, you do a lot of damage. You do a lot of damage, and it's one that's not to be forgotten about. Also, the HE on this tank is good for splashing, because you've got 3.66 meters of blast radius, which means it splashes over bigger areas of tanks that it hits with the HE round, and because you've got that 950 alpha, it means that you generally, if you hit people in slightly weaker spots, not necessarily what you're going to pen, but slightly weaker, thinly armoured spots, you're going to be splashing for like 300 to 400, which means that they are also, because it's a 152mm gun, very good at splashing people to death if they've got 100 or 200 hit points. So you always want to be thinking about that with the Object 704 as well. It's like, that guy's got 100 hit points. You know what, I just load HE and splash him, and that'll kill them, because yeah, this gun is glorious, honestly. It's just that the 704 can be awkward with the slow track traverse. It can be awkward with the fact that the gun depression is 6 degrees and you are a relatively small target, so trying to use it on some sort of ridgeline can be pain. But if you play it like that stealthy further back tank destroyer, it can be pretty good. But you're also not without armour. Now, this tank has not got the kind of armour that you want to truly rely on. You don't want to sit there going, haha, I have armour, you're never going to pen me, because, well, that's just not true. They're going to pen you fairly easily at times. But you've got enough armour that occasionally can get you some filthy bounces, and especially if they catch you in the gun mantlet. It's the same as the ISU 152 in that regard, but you've got better armour than an ISU 152. But in the regard of outside of the gun mantlet, they're probably going to pen you decently easily, tier for tier, but if they catch a shot straight into the gun mantlet, it's just going to bounce, and you go, ha-ha, bounced you, and you'll get a decent amount of blocks in that regard. It's not got the kind of armor where you want to rely on it, but it's got enough that can get you out of jail at times. So we're on the second replay, and the second replay is on Derpenberg. And on Erlenberg, we've got 1216 damage so far. Just looking for a shot into the Ho-Ri. Go over, plant the shot into his track. I think that actually overmatched that guy's side. Tracked and penned him at that angle. We get lucky that he only tracked us, and then he takes a hit or two, which gives us some tracking assist. Hopefully going to get the we are going to get the reload on him, which puts a shot through the lower plate of the Ho-Ri 1. Good night, Japanese tier 9 tank destroyer. And we're up to that 2.1k damage. They've started to move in behind us, so I want to try and get into a position to start getting shots into people like this 263. So we put a shot into the back of the 263. It's like, hello, Mr. 263. I'm not going to allow you to take this position too easily, sir. So he's turning around to look at us. Well, okay, sir, you look around, turn around and look at us. I'm going to be able to come and shoot your Foch. So we put a shot into the back of the Foch. Next up, CS63. We've got the house for cover on our right, which means we're covered from anybody else that could be down the middle. And in fact, he gets double-barreled, so good night, Mr. CS63. And I think, you know what, I'm just going to take the hit. I'm going to take the hit and go and blap this 263. But we get lucky. He ends up doing track damage only. He then pulls back into the perfect place for me to hit his lower plate, because I would have had to go over the ridgeline a little bit more there, but we've been very fortunate in this game to have not been penned. But we're just waiting on the reload to see if we can get a shot into this griller. It's like, thank you very much, Mr. Griller, and we put a shot through the side of him there. We're up to 4.5k damage with 945 assistance, and honestly, yeah, when the gun works, oh, you can just rack up damage so quickly, and it's juicy. So you can see we're giving lead there to that 132A, sorry, the WZ-132A, which is the tier 9 Chinese light tank. We put that shot through his side, which tracked him as well. Nice lead as well, because you really do have to give a good amount of lead at distance in this vehicle, because 880 meters a second shell velocity is not the best in the universe. Obviously, that's way below average. Well, it's below average. It's not way below, but it's below average of 1,000 meters a second. So, unfortunately, we missed the snap on the griller, but thankfully for me, the griller 15 makes lots of mistakes, feeds us a juicy shot into his side, and we finish him off. There's now a mouse in the distance. I'm thinking, well, you know, my 286 penetration will go through a mouse fairly easily, but APCR might do this a little bit better. So we put a shot through the side of the mouse because it's flat, but I decided to load APCR in case he gives us any sort of tighter angle. 329 millimeters of penetration will probably go through it. So we're just looking for a shot to the side of the turret, maybe the lower plate. But the troll cannon comes into play as we end up hitting the rock there when we had a lot of the side of that mouse's turret, but it is RNG giveth, RNG taketh. It's what the 704 does. It sits there and goes, ha! No, I'm going to miss. And you have to sit there and go, I'm sorry, Mr. Troll Cannon. I just wanted to hit my shot. Oh, as we missed there, the Griller 15. But, I mean, if we'd hit that Griller 15, I'd have been exceptionally happy because that wasn't really that well aimed and, well, it was also through rubble. So we are going to go close down the Grill 15 and the Heavy Tank. I think the Heavy Tank was a one-shot for us. We're at 6.6k damage, and there goes the 75, which I actually think was the guy that was over here with the Griller. So I was contemplating firing HE, and in fact, there we go. We load the HE because we've got the memories. That Mines game, right? We penned the Griller 15 with the HE. And it was juicy. And I like juicy HE rounds. So we're just going to load it because, you know, what's the worst that can happen? We don't pen him, we hit him for like 400. Or we pen him and we do nearly 1,000 damage, or we do 900 damage. We're going to take that. So the Grill 15's actually not here. And I'm thinking, I was fully expecting the Griller to run down the A line, possibly get to A0. Maybe he's gone to hide at A B12. Well, B12. And I'm really quite sad at this point, because I feel like, oh no, I think the Grill's actually run away from me. So I don't care about going through the cap at this point. So I'm like, Mr. Griller, I'm coming I'm full health. I can take a hit from the Griller. I'm like, I'm coming for you, Griller. I'm coming for you. But unfortunately, he gets spotted in the distance. Tusk is going for him. He penned the Tusk, but, well, Tusk can pen the Gorilla as well. He hits him for 400, sets him on fire. The Heavy Tanks get in there as well. I load AP so that I don't have any problems with Splash where I do basically nothing, and I'm going to guarantee the pen. But sadly, we don't get there, and the game is over as we tried our best to get to the Gorilla 15. But we finished with the victory. We come top on the team with 4 kills, 6.6k damage, 945 assistance, ace tank of the high caliber with that 1887 base XP. A really nice game there for the Object 704. A pretty damn nice Soviet tier 9 tech tree tank destroyer. It absolutely slaps. Troll cannon. Always love this gun. Always have done since it was on the original ISU. It's just that it's a bit troll at times and will decide to miss when it wants to. Yeah, it's just the way troll cannon is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!